I'm here. I'm back. This is Evan Says. I have lots of things to say today. Welcome to this podcast. We are, I guess, at Evan Wexell. This is all through me. So if you know me and my name through social media, you can find this podcast. I talk about everything I want to talk about. Today, I actually made up a little rundown. It's going to be like a little newscast going on today of just a few things haven't been able to get to the last couple of weeks. Busy, life, yada. But there were some cool things I ran into. Firstly, because everything else is going to be wrestling based. This one is the one that's not. Last week, I was able to see the new Naked Gun movie. And I honestly believe that this movie saved comedy at the theaters. I think there's only been like superhero stuff and action stuff and gory stuff and sequels and so on. Now, this is a reboot, but the type of humor that you got out of this, which was not necessarily like overly filthy, but still it went places. But I feel like it really leaned into the slapstick that if you liked the first Naked Gun in the series, you were not disappointed. And this was an amazing movie. I thought it did everything it was supposed to do. We're not trying to overanalyze this. We're not trying to be critical of this, of what they were trying to present us and the outlandish stunts and, being handed a cup of coffee while you're driving a car, things like that. Very refreshing. My wheelhouse growing up was like my Mount Rushmore growing up was Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber. Naked Gun, different kind of a lot of puns, just like this one was. And it carried everything pretty loyally, I think, to what the old one used to be. I think you saw some faces from the old one in this one. And I feel like it was a big exhale. You had someone from one of the Lonely Island people, Akiva Schaffer. I want to say his name wrong. Akiva was, you could tell his timing and you can tell also that Seth MacFarlane produces because like the timing of the humor and the kind of shtick and like the literal jokes and the puns and the over the top stunts, A1. And this probably wouldn't have happened if Liam Neeson wasn't just so good. He played such a good, like dry, all in, and acted it like he would have acted Schindler's List. Acted it like he would have acted in Darkman or Taken. Like it was the same kind of like, I am Frank Drebin Jr. This is how we're gonna solve this case. And he keeps the badassery that we know from like the Taken movies and all the action movies that were kind of trying to clone what the Taken movies did. And he was so on point. And it could make sense. I know, like, for you guys that follow the gossip, I think he and Pamela Anderson are dating right now, but I could see how they would buy into each other. Like it's great. Like they're both committed in their own way. Leslie Nielsen was a little more gentle, whereas Liam Neeson is like tougher, but he's so goofy and he plays it straight up that you love it that much more. And Pamela Anderson, you didn't know as much, I think, about Priscilla Presley on screen when you saw her in the first Naked Gun movie, but Pamela Anderson, like, spot on. And she had funny parts. She played along great, and supporting cast was great. And I hope there's another one because, man, this stuff was funny. And I hope there's more movies like this that can get released in the theater because we don't get a lot like this anymore. I know, maybe the last great generation movies was like Super Bad, Anchorman. What are there more recent comedies? Like I know there's a lot of Seth Rogen stuff and James Franco stuff, but like this was the first like standout comedy movie that I think meant to be seen in the theaters. Everyone was cracking up. Not a big audience when I saw it, but Man, I wish it all the success in the world. I hope the sequel goes places. I hope this franchise just keeps going. Okay. Go see Naked Gun if you can. Do yourself a service. Short movie too, not too long, like maybe an hour and a half or less. Okay. A few things I want to run through. First, see, like I'm gonna change scenes like this. Closing thought on Hulk Hogan was I think there was a documentary this past week about him. I'm not big on documentaries about celebrities, especially when they're in a point in their life or where they're not in their life. And you put out this documentary like a week after, 2 weeks after he dies, and he can't reply to any of this. But this just goes to show you, I think TMZ had a big part in this documentary, that, when the news is broken of your death and it's TMZ reporting it, that's when you let too many wolves in your hen house. So, I would want to get as far away from that entity as I can, because that's all tabloid stuff. It's like, might as well have the National Enquirer break the news of something like this. So it's a shame that, the final thing people may see about him as a production will be that documentary, which again, it takes people defending him, but you don't want to see those people on camera anyway. I don't think people are excited to see Vince defend Hulk Hogan when Vince is now the woods in his own right currently. And, other people that spoke in that documentary, they got their own stuff going on. So it's really just one big bowl of just like unsettledness. But, I hope the spirit's at peace, and definitely look forward to what comes up in the future on his next adventure. So I just want to say that about Hulk. Because again, I know it's happened a few weeks ago. The dude was my hero growing up. I basically, from age maybe 6 to 13 or 14, he was my guy. When I was a teenager, I turned over to Bon Jovi. They were my guys. He was my guy. Still kind of my guy. And but that's my thing on Hulk. But recent things have happened that are very fun in wrestling. So I just want to weigh in on this. This was something over the weekend. AAA is a wrestling promotion in Mexico purchased by WWE, and they had a premium live event, streaming it actually on YouTube, which is very accessible and very smart. And it's cool. It's a good feel because you get to see a different arena. You get to see a different look. It almost had an AEW kind of look to it, while you still had Corey Graves on commentary and JBL. And you had some WWE personalities, throughout the evening show up in matches and, interfering in things. But there's this one part, Microman. Now, if you don't know much about little people wrestling, it can be entertaining. My first memory of this was, I think, the mixed tag match at WrestleMania 3, where Hillbilly Jim had his two compatriots and King Kong Bundy had his. And I think I have a 3-year-old. Microman is an inch or two taller than my 3-year-old. And my 3-year-old is currently infatuated with him and already wants to be him for Halloween. And he wants me to be Omos, but I think in the current social climate, I'm not going to be able to get away with being Omos for Halloween. But I'm tempted to get someone to make gear for my 3-year-old, because the juxtaposition of him and Omos, which again, this is very over the top. And again, credit to WWE for these images and the Naked Gun website and everything I've done today. But the image of this is like David and Goliath. I guess there's another image showing of Rey Mysterio with the Great Khali. But this, the timing, not an A+ on the whole sequence, but you got an image like this, and you had the YouTube clips, and sometimes in life, that's all you need. And 2 million views later, you have someone that is just, we're waiting to where can we buy this merch? So hopefully AAA will, if it's not already out, let us know, because I'm about to hit up people for wrestling gear for my 3-year-old, just so he can look like Microman. I think the bit with the Battle Royal was great. I don't know the translation of that. I didn't look it up. I didn't do my research. I apologize. But I hope we see them again, because we're already seeing Mr. Iguana more on WWE programming. So, and this is also making people like Swoggle now. He wants to get in on it too. He wants to have another rematch, I think, with Microman. They fought. And I think we're getting to a point even in our culture where just watch something for the entertainment value and don't watch it just so you can criticize it and think if it's appropriate or not. I feel like these are in all these aspects, like this is just entertainment. And I hope that we see more of this type of entertainment and mix it up. I don't think it's going to ever be like a main event of WrestleMania, but I do see stuff like this showing up at a PLE would be awesome. Like when El Torito took on Hornswoggle, and I think it was in Extreme Rules 10 years ago. How do I do this? How do I perfection? That was an amazing match. So stay tuned because AAA and WWE, there's like all this, there's merch to be sold and there's new fans to be made. So, and YouTube, great way to stream it. Look forward to Worlds Collide. Should be awesome. Final thing I'm going to say is now the new thing is WWE is leaving Peacock in a month. It was going to be 6 months. Now it's 1 month. They're going to be on ESPN now in the US. Now, when I was out of the country, it was cool because I had Netflix. I was able to watch everything Netflix and WWE. But I guess it pays not to cut the cord. If you have an ESPN cable subscription, you should be able to get in on this. So it's great. I mean, I don't like that. I think someone said the AEW page on ESPN has been taken down. I think that's kind of like lame because, you know, you're not going to pretend the other promotion doesn't exist. It's like, are they going to put up a TNA page now? Because then that would be even worse. So I hope that they can still cover everything. But obviously, you know, you're in on WWE. I don't know. Is ESPN just been sitting on like $5 billion for the past 10 years? Because all of a sudden they're buying up all these sports and they might even re-up baseball. And they already are going to get, they have the bowl games. They're already going to, they don't have they're going to have March Madness. You feel like they're going to have everything. They're just like, screw it. Let's just funnel this Disney money that we make and let's just buy all these sports properties so that we're set. Now I know UFC has gone to Paramount Plus. But now WWE is not fully off of Peacock. There's still, I guess, the archival material on Peacock. Who knows how long that's going to run. But I got to tell you, man, it's a full-time job being a wrestling fan because you've got Raw, you've got SmackDown, you've got NXT. And if you want to watch the other stuff, you got Collision, you got Dynamite, you got TNA. Now you got AAA. Then you have independent shows. And then you have these PLEs. And it's like, holy moly, like we need to get paid for watching all this stuff. Like, and now it's all like in different places. So where can you watch all this stuff? No, I want me. I don't want them to go. I want replace. Can I get me on there? I don't know. That's just the, oh, well, that's fine. I'm going to get rid of that. So now it's just me. I just remember like it's a full, every night there's something wrestling and you got to stay up with it. Or else you just can't. And then you're falling behind. And I'm at a place I'm watching YouTube highlights. And I'm catching up. I'm still up to speed with it, man. I would like to watch more AEW. I'm a big MJF fan. I think they do great stuff over there. I think, you know, Tony Khan loves wrestling. But I would, man, there's a lot of ways to have to follow WWE content. I mean, you need Peacock currently. You need Netflix currently. You need cable subscription currently for USA SmackDown. You need CW. You got to make sure you have CW for NXT. You need the Turner networks for AEW. And, you know, hope that YouTube does a little bit, but there's a lot on the plate of a wrestling fan these days. So I just wanted to chime in on those things. I know it wasn't really a lot to say, but a lot of fun things happening right now. Go see Naked Gun. Look up some old Microman matches because I know I will. And let's dig in. Let's have some more fun. And yeah, thanks for watching. Evan Says, like, share, subscribe. It's going to be delightful. I'm going to chop this up,